What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. So in this video, I have a solo run of the Hypernet Current GM. I use the Celestial Nighthawk Hunter. I have a full build breakdown on my channel if you want more in-depth info on this build, but I will talk about it throughout the run and talk about how it works. I'm using Tiku's Divination as my exotic bow for Unstoppable Bow. And then, as you can see, all the solar artifact mods and solo operative. And then I've got Overload Pulse Rifle. I've got the Battle Scar, which is a world drop with Shoot to Loot and Kinetic Tremors. So it's really, really good. Kinetic Tremors is great in GMs, and it can proc Shoot to Loot from the Tremor that spawns on the ground. So that's nice additional functionality. So here, sometimes you can get lucky and the enemies will group up more, but you can see my Tikus isn't really landing on them, but sometimes you can kind of blow all of them up in just one arrow, which is quite nice if they're stacked up together. But sadly, I didn't kill them in time on this run, so I lost my restoration, so I had to play a little bit more cautious here. I'm running healing grenades and Ember of Empyrean, so I can just throw down a healing grenade and then mow down enemies, but like I said, I was a second too late on continuing my restoration. So yeah, like I said, this wasn't the cleanest opening part. I've been like 1:20 where I've been killing the first unstop up top, and here we're at 1:20 already. But again, that's just RNG and the way runs go sometimes. But Tiku's is still really good in this strike, just because it is lots of grouped up ads, and if you get them all scorched with your hipfire arrow, then they can all just like explode off one another. So here's the first champion. I've got my golden gun, so we're gonna get a stun on him, take him out really quickly. So this is where this build really shines, because there's a few times in this strike where it's really important to get a champion down quickly, and there's literally nothing better in the game than Celestial Nighthawk for doing that. You can do it safely at any distance. Just as long as you can get the stun off on the champ, you're good to go. So here, I actually get the stun from the ignition, and then we use the cranium, and look at my super bar go up. So I've got my super back already, because Celestial, when you actually get a kill with it, you get 33% of your super back, and then the craniums give just crazy super energy. So what you want to do is use one cranium to burn down all those enemies. Then we use another cranium here. So unfortunately that Minotaur is quite far away, so I'm gonna have to go back for that cranium. So then we use this cranium to take out the Scorpiuses and then the Legionaries. There's 4 of them, I believe. You don't have to take out the Gladiators at all. They're melee based, so you can just avoid them, and then we just go to the next area. So I'm just looking for this last Legionary. Or maybe I had killed him. Nope, there he is. So his arc shots do hurt. But anyways, so there's me using Shoot to Loot. So I have full machine gun ammo, and I'm just going to burn these guys down just for fun. But again, you can just leave them. Then you go back and get your other cranium, and here's where you have to juggle the cranium to use it on the Tormentor. So you can't finish this Tormentor. He's like a boss, and you can't finish bosses. So again, this is where Celestial Nighthawk will come in very, very good, because you can get 2 Celestials off on this boss if you're doing things right. So we're going to pop a shoulder with a Celestial, then we burn his other shoulder down with the cranium, and then we'll get a ton of super energy back, and then we use another Celestial to finish him off. So I'll get to that when we're there. So I take out 2 Scorpiuses, pick up the cranium, take out the other 2, pick up the cranium again. I'm not sure exactly how long you have. It might be just a bit over 5 seconds. Here's a teleporting ad. I swear to God, every single one of these commentaries I've done, there's been at least one ad teleport just out of nowhere. And it's super freaking annoying. Like, it cost me a death in my Corrupted, literally at the boss, so like 50 minutes into the run. The ad TPs have been dog shit this season, to be quite frank. So anyways, there you can see I have my marksman dodge. So I really like running that with this machine gun, because I hate reloading machine guns, even though I have enhanced field prep, so if I crouch I can reload it quickly. But in this strike I can basically just reload it with my dodge all the time. So ideally what would happen is, sorry about the frame drops, sometimes I can get, so I've got armor charge and I've got double kinetic surge. So I missed the revitalizing blast melee, unfortunately, but I still had armor charge. So I'm doing 17% more damage with my Goldie because of double kinetic surge. That's why I run kinetic surge with this build, because it enhances your golden gun damage even further. Now you're not always charged, like you don't always have armor charge, but for the times that you do, it's just a free like 17% damage. On golden gun, that goes a long way. So you could see we chunked this Tormentor down pretty good. So now he jumps up and you can just hide behind this thing. So you can see he's already like below half. And I've had quicker melts. So I've got Revitalizing Blast on, which is a 15% weaken with any solar ability. And I missed that. So I could have took down that Tormentor even more because my Celestial would have done 15% more damage, and the quick subsequent cranium shots would have done more as well. So I don't know if you noticed, but when I was dealing damage to that Tormentor, once he's past half health, that's like a damage gate and more enemies fly in. But if you take out that first unstop, then you'll get a second unstop on that halfway point health gate. But if you leave that unstoppable up like I have, then when you hit that damage threshold to spawn in that next set of ads, there is no unstop. So it's best to leave that unstop up if you can. Sometimes he will jump up here and push you, in which case you'll pretty much have to kill him. But if he doesn't, just leave him up until you reach halfway on the boss's health. So there, I used a Revitalizing Blast melee on the unstop to weaken him, and it gives me Radiant. So I was able to do like a lot of damage with my machine gun. Unfortunately, I stun him there, but we have the Tormentor push up. So I've had runs where I've killed the Tormentor about now. So this isn't like the smoothest, but it is what it is. You just have to take what the game gives you a lot of the time. You can survive 2 of those void cleaves, but like if I had got hit by that one, I'm dead. So here I use my Resto Grenade. So that's pretty much going to negate that first one, and then I can stand in there, get the kill. Now, because I took out all those ads and whatever else, I've got another Celestial. So here we get the Revitalizing Blast, pop the Goldie, wait for a good shot. You have extra damage resist, so you can stand in there against that cleaver. And then we one-shot him to the stomach. So again, that time, Radiant also enhances the... I've got Ember of Torches on, so our melees will make us Radiant. So Radiant also enhances the damage of your golden gun. And then I had Revitalizing Blast, so yeah, we hit like 200,000 to the stomach. So that's where Celestial is so nice for this run. And if you're in a team setting, you could have a div guy, and then all your hits on the Tormentor will be crits, and that will just make using Celestial even easier too, because those damn unstoppable Centurions, sometimes they face away from you so you can't one-shot them, and other times they will block your shot with their shield. So I took out the far Phalanx and Centurion first because they actually de-aggro here, and then I guess I took those other 2 out. One like fell off the map or something. But yeah, so they'll de-aggro. Oh, there he is. Again, more teleporting ads. Like, it has been ridiculous this season. So I'm just trying to keep causality arrows up because you'll do more damage. But it's really tough to do because it requires you like shooting quickly. And then you have to... I don't like how Unstoppable procs. I think on a perfect draw on a bow, that should be long enough. But anyway, you have to hold it just a little longer to get the unstop. And there you can see I just lost my causality arrows. All because I have to hold the bow longer and not keep that rhythm. And that causes me to lose causality arrows. So there, my timing was like just good enough and I was able to keep it up. But you need like perfect timing. And that's because you have to pull the bow back the entire way to get an unstop off. And then here we just have more teleporting ads, super annoying. So yeah, I could use a Celestial on this guy, but I like to use it on the third guy, just because you do have like a bit of cover back here, like where I just jumped down. So we're gonna use our melee and try to pump as much damage into him quickly as we can there. Machine gun's really nice on this strike because there's like lots of grouped up adds. So here I go from that side so I don't get hit by that darkness blast. So we deal with him. Now there's one more, either a Phalanx or a Centurion, I can't really tell. But we have a good opportunity on that unstop, so we take him out, and then the explosion from our super. So Celestial Nighthawk, when you get a kill with it, it makes an explosion, but it says explosion, so I don't think it's an ignition, but there is a fragment where your solar super final blows cause an ignition. So I run that with this build, and then I've got Ember of Searing and Singeing, which give me like melee and dodge energy for... The dodge energy is just anytime you scorch enemies, but then the melee one is every time you kill scorched enemies. Now unfortunately Tiku's doesn't actually apply scorch, but I would love to see Bungie change that in the future. Like Polaris Lance is so OP because the Perfect Fifth actually synergizes with Solar 3.0. And I know we've had a ton of power creep in the game already, so Tiku's being able to like actually scorch targets and not just like cause that fire or whatever it does. Like again, it's gonna be power creep, but it would just make the bow that much better. It's still good, but it is too bad that it doesn't synergize with that. So again, you can see I threw a healing grenade, and now I've got 12 seconds of restoration as I just mow down all these enemies. So again, be very careful about your craniums. So this cranium can be picked up, but then one of the two at the back, so those two that are grouped up together, one of those craniums doesn't despawn. And I never know which one it is. So see, it just despawned out of my hand, but that other one stayed up. So I always leave one of those two up, and then you're actually able to take it where the other ones despawn. So then you take it up here, and you're able to shoot the darkness thing that shoots those shadows while you drive the Sparrow, and that's really crucial because that's what'll kill you more than anything else on this Sparrow part, because Sparrows don't have much health, and like if you go through one of those shadow things, you're just automatically dead. Now I don't know if I have to kill these ads, I just do, just because it's an ad that I can take down with ease with the cranium. So here I have always on time, so I know all the Sparrows have their speed reworked to match always on time, but always on time actually is able to have more side dodges. So like you see my boost meter on the bottom left, it has more boost than other Sparrows. And I have such muscle memory with always on time now that I still have a hard time taking it off, because I'll go to dodge with a Sparrow knowing how many dodges I have on always on time, but then I won't have a side dodge on the other Sparrow I'm running. Again, it doesn't overly matter, like I'm not really side dodging this at all, but it is nice to have if you need it. So again, I throw down my Resto Grenade, we're gonna pop these two things real quick, just so they're out of our way, and I killed that Hobgoblin beside him, and then anyway, the incandescent from my machine gun caused him to do a retaliation swarm. So on the first Hobgoblin, look at that. I've got 50% of my super because I get 33%, and then I also made orbs from my golden gun. And I think that might have been from Whence You Came, or what's the one? Wished Into Being. When you're close to having your super, it will drop more orbs, but when you cast Goldie, it like ticks your super down. So I think because I killed him so early into my super, maybe that procced Wished Into Being. I'm not totally sure, but that's what it seems like happened. So because I used a Goldie on the first one, and then we get so much energy just from like our Goldie back and then using the cranium, now I still have 33 cranium shots, and now I have another Goldie that I can use on this next guy. So that's why you always use a golden gun on the first Hobgoblin, because you'll get it back for the last one, and this just allows you to save some cranium energy, and the craniums are just really good to use on enemies. So see what I'm saying about my super? So there I actually missed, unfortunately, and then this also causes my cranium to despawn. So yeah, you have to hit your crit with Celestial, but this is why we have the pulse rifle. So that was just a screw up on my part. But as I was saying, you could see my super bar like slowly ticks down. So I think if I had killed it in time, I might have procced Wished Into Being again. So that's something that's some nice synergy with this build. So because I don't have the cranium, now I have to take the Vandals out slowly, and I'm just hoping that I can get them down before they pop their stupid immunity bubble, because that is really annoying. So this guy, this is where it's nice to still have that cranium, because that Captain Blast is quite threatening, and they blink around a lot, so they can just be a little difficult to deal with. And then here again, I'm trying to get those Vandals down as quick as I can, and there I did. But I've had it where they pop their little immunity bubbles and they'll alternate them. So they pretty much keep everything immune like the whole time, and I don't have any anti-barrier on. Anti-barrier will go through, but I didn't have any anti-barrier on with this build. So it can just, it's just a time loss is all it is. So here I throw it on my Resto Nade and then quickly proc Radiant with a melee throw. So now I've got pretty much permanent Resto, permanent melees, and I just like to take out the Minotaurs first. And I like to get one right here to get the cranium near me, because we're going to use that cranium for when the ogres spawn. So I'm actually taking a little more damage than I should be here, but that's where Resto is so nice. And yeah, we're just going to melt all the enemies down low, and then we melt the overloads up top, and then we're going to work on the Darkness Blaster things. So at 50% of taking out those taken rifts. Oh, and that's the other thing. These craniums will stay as long as I don't pick it up. So that's why I haven't picked it up, and I'm just trying to kill everything else on the ground first. And all the enemies near the Hobgoblins. Because Hobgoblins on their own are not a threat. But if you have the Acolytes like shooting at you and crap, that's when they're going to be a threat. So I like to get everything down. And now I'm going to stun them. Pick up this cranium. Make sure you watch for the Shadow Rift things though, because they can melt you. So now we got our cranium. Now we're going to take these out. And what I should be doing on the last one is grabbing a new cranium, because that way I will have full ammo for the ogre spawn. So hopefully I do that, because that is like the strat you want to do. And again, just be wary of those rifts. So one more. Yeah, see, like I almost got caught in one. So yeah, here I'm grabbing another one. Gonna take out the last rift, and I get kind of lost here because I don't know where that other cranium I had was. There it is. So I find that. Now we're gonna take out the rift, and I still have 88 ammo, and I have this cranium beside me. So this is really good. So now we're gonna burn these devoured ogres down. Like, look at how fast they go. And I don't want to use my super on them, because you want your super. So there, even 88 shots was more than enough. So now I'm going to burn the rest, pick up the last cranium. What I should have done is probably taken out the thrall first, because we want a full cranium going up to the boss room. And I don't know, yeah, I doubt I'll have fully full cranium energy, because I did that. I should have taken out those thrall with a machine gun. Yeah. So I have to take out the last one with my last. So it's just a very minor thing, because ideally you'd have 100 going up to the boss room, and instead I have like 93. So not a big deal. But that is exactly how you want to play that part. You want to have a full cranium, and then ideally a cranium beside you to take out those ogres nice and quickly. And then this part, so the start of the boss phase, there's an unstop that spawns in, but he often faces away from you. And if you do, that's very unlucky. Because ideally, I'd be able to Celestial that unstop, and then I'm able to just use my cranium to burn down all the Centurions, because they're actually arc-shielded Centurions. But in this case, he spawns in not looking at me, and then it just becomes a whole mess. Like, the gameplay is not perfect by any means, but it's not ever going to be perfect. Sometimes you do have to adjust strategies on the fly. And that's what makes soloing GMs difficult. So here I hold my cranium as long as I can, and see he immediately just starts running away from me, which sucks. So I'm like, okay. And then these freaking phalanxes with their shield are blocking my cranium shots. So now I'm scrambling, which is unfortunate. And then you have these damn balls that like chase after you. So you just have to map rotate. That's all there is to it. You just have to map rotate and pick your spots for when you can shoot these enemies. So here I get one Centurion down, and now I'm out of my cranium. So again, I came up here with 93. If I had had 100, I would have burnt that one phalanx. He was like one shot. So there, I just killed him. But still, so those 7 shots on a cranium, especially because they deal so much damage, they can make a difference. So now we got this unstop chasing us, which is really annoying, but we're gonna deal with him right here. So again, you have to hold that freaking arrow cocked for so long, which isn't ideal, because he was bearing down on me fast, and they'll put up their shield, and if he had put up his shield at the last second, I would have hit my arrow on the shield, and then you don't get an unstop because it's immune. You have to hit them on the body with your unstoppable bow. You can't hit them on the shield. But once that unstop's down, then this part's fine. Now I'm just rotating because the boss, like, yeah, he shoots his darkness blast, and he also shoots those little, I don't know what you call them, like rocket thingies. So this is the last threatening enemy, and we get him down. So that is where the machine gun is so nice. It can just chew through red bar ads. So now we're good. Dodge to reload. And then this, so that's the other crappy thing, where if you don't get a super on that unstop immediately, ideally I could have celestialed that unstop right off rip, and then I would have a Celestial Nighthawk right now, which is awesome for chunking this boss because he's tanky. Not only is he tanky, he has this damn shield, and again, we don't have barrier, so we can get radiant, so my machine gun can have barrier, but you want to save machine gun ammo for all the ad clear in the next couple phases. So I'm trying to just get causality arrow shots, but I think it requires a crit, and then that's kind of tough. And then you can see he gets all immunes when I'm doing some of my hip fires, so then he doesn't have that scorch applied to him. And I already talked about how if you don't have like perfect timing, you're not going to keep your causality arrows up. So there, I stayed in pretty late, so I took some good damage, but it's because I was radiant, so I was trying to take advantage of my anti-barrier machine gun just to chip them down. But yeah, so what I was saying is if I can take that unstoppable out immediately, then I have 33% super, and then we use our cranium and we burn down all those ads, which you can pretty much get them all down. It's just I had to scramble because the unstop was on the field. But if you burn them all down, then you're gonna get a you're gonna get a super back really, really quickly. And then it basically just gives you like 1 extra super for this damage phase, and 1 super pretty much pops like half his health. So you can almost like celestial him down in 2 golden guns. So it's really all just about getting your super. So here, I'm waiting for my melee ability so that I can debuff him and get radiant so that I can get the most out of my super. Because like I said, he's tanky as hell. So if I can get that extra radiant damage plus the 15% revitalizing blast, that's going to make my super go a long way. And what I always forget is you can actually pop your Goldie and then throw your knife, where I'm trying to throw my knife before popping my Goldie. Actually, no, I do it here. So see, I pop, throw, hit the crit, and boom, now he's like over half of his first health bar. And then I'm radiant from popping my super. So I got a bit of machine gun ammo shots in there, but I am getting a little low on machine gun ammo, so I want to chill. So right there, that was horrible movement on my part, but I do have arc resist. I might have double arc resist actually, because there is a lot of arc damage in here. So you are able to survive like 1 blast, but that I was full health going into that, and I was very low after. So if I had got hit, see there, I took like some AoE damage from his little blaster thing. So if I'd taken any additional damage, I'm pretty much done there. So that was just me being impatient because I'm trying to like just jump back and forth and get my shots off. I wonder, see, that's just so annoying when those cause that, like the hip fire arrows don't land. It sucks. But yeah, so this part is just the bore. And I don't know the best way to go about it. Like I'm sure there's people better than me that could actually get like consistent arrows to be hitting here and like moving properly, but yeah, this is what we got to do. And this is where Polaris Lance would come in super, super handy. It's just I used Polaris on both of my Battleground GMs because it's very, very good in those. So I just wanted to use something different. But Polaris Lance, it would allow you to be proccing missions every 5th shot, and it would have anti-barrier because it's not hampered by unstoppable. So it's a little tougher to stun the unstops, which that really is only a problem on the unstop in boss room. All the other unstops you can shoot from a distance and it'd be really easy to get them with an ignition. So it really only matter in the boss room. But you're gonna have a lot faster DPS phases with Polaris because you can just sit there and shoot through his shield and keep landing crits, where I'm losing so much DPS time because I'm literally just waiting on that shield. And yeah, so there again, wished into being procs. I got my melee kill when I was close to my super, but it doesn't overly matter because he's immune until we destroy these blights. So you want to take out all the enemies on the ground because the Minotaurs, the Vex that are up, will fight the Taken. So look at this, like, he's completely not a threat. Orange bar Minotaur, but he's not even looking at me. So I just use that to my advantage and chip away on them. And luckily, I got a couple of heavy bricks to drop. That's another reason why exotic bows are nice, or any exotic primary, is because with heavy ammo finder. So now the boss actually looks at me. He had been looking at those Minotaurs for a while, so we're just gonna hide, hope that he de-aggroes, which he does. But yeah, so heavy ammo finder, as you get primary kills, it like fills up an invisible meter, and then eventually you get a heavy ammo drop. But if you run more heavy ammo finders, and if you run exotic primaries, that meter like fills up quicker, so you get more heavy ammo finder drops. So there, they're getting a little close. There's a lot of them, so I just decide to proc my resto. And yeah, so we're just gonna get everything down. And then I might leave up the last Minotaur just so that he takes boss aggro. And then we're gonna destroy the rifts, or blights, or whatever the heck. Yeah, taking blights. So, at 50% of the blights destroyed, the boss is gonna move from where he is, and he's gonna move where I'm standing now. So you have to be aware of that. You have to remember that, because he will stomp you, and basically if you're on top of him, you're dead. So don't be standing there. So as a result, I clear these back blights so that they're not in my way, and then I take out that last Minotaur, because now that I've got 56, he's about to move. But I do wonder if I had kept him up, if the boss actually puts like some aggro on him. Maybe it's 67%. He should be TPing. There he goes. Maybe it's at 67%. But that also spawns in adds. So I'm going to use my machine gun to take them out. Let them get in close, get the resto up. I'm trying to juggle the cranium so that I don't lose it. And then the boss also shoots those blight things. Or maybe it's when all the things are dead. It might be now. Anyway, you have to shoot those blight things down as well. So there is where the marksman dodge comes in so handy, because I still got adds creeping up on me. So it wasn't the best cranium management. Like, I used a few craniums on the thrall, but it's whatever. So he's still immune until we take all these blights out. So that's what I'm working on doing now. And luckily, I kept up 3 of 4 craniums. So that's really going to help for DPS. So we pick up the last one, take out the blight, and I think there might actually be adds that spawn after this last blight too. Yeah, this is the goblin phase. Yeah. So here I mess up big time. There, I need to just stun him and then shoot him. So supers go through immunity. And I panicked because I saw that the Hobgoblin was immune. So I just shot a different goblin. And luckily, like, the ignition damage took out a few other goblins. But I messed up there bad, because the Hobgoblin's still on the field, where I know that I could just take him out through that immunity because it was my super, but I wasn't thinking straight. Like, I just kind of forgot that in the heat of the moment. But yeah, so I should have taken him out. So those other Hobgoblins are actually what's more scary, because they have their little void snipers. See, he actually hits me and I'm like one shot now. If I get hit again, I'm so dead. So they're pretty accurate. So yeah, I'm just trying to take all them out, but they're immune And there I screw up. I'm just trying to take out those goblins and I shoot the Hobgoblin. So he does his retaliation swarm. So now it's harder for me to focus on the other ads. And you're getting those taken blight things shot at you. The little balls that the boss shoots. So those are annoying. Still getting sniped by Hobgoblins. Again, the Overload Hobgoblin isn't really a threat. It's those guys. Because the Overload doesn't really shoot you unless you shoot him. He just throws out the stasis crap. So now that they're all dead, so basically I just wasted an entire cranium there. And now I have no cranium to take out the Hobgoblin. So again, this was like very, very poor. I should have just shot that Hobgoblin, and then I would have easily been able to face up with all the other enemies, because I know there's no Hobgoblin on the field. Because what that causes is you have to set your cranium down to deal with the Hobgoblin, to stun him, and that just like kind of ruins your whole rhythm with the cranium. And then yeah, of course these come in at a terrible time. So finally I get an angle, able to burn them down. So again, now I only have 63 shots on my cranium, so I'm just going to get less DPS on the boss. It's going to make this phase take longer. So what I'm going to do is pop a super because I have it, and then hopefully, oh, not yet because of these stupid things. So yeah, this boss fight's just very annoying because there's lots of like little things that can screw with you. So there, I should have picked my cranium up before I popped super. Just so it wouldn't despawn, but it still stayed up long enough. And as you can see, I was hitting like 10,000 to the crit there. So the Revitalizing Blast Weaken also works for the craniums. So that's, like I said, that's really good on the Tormentor. So here I could put my cranium down too and just shoot those, but I don't, which again was dumb because you want to use it for as much boss DPS as you can. So there, I have a heavy brick on the ground and I have full heavy. So my heavy situation's looking really good now, going into the last part of the fight. And then here you can just see like how awesome those craniums are. That's another annoying thing right there. You can see I was actually landing those shots on the little balls, but they're kind of like immune for the first little bit, which is just annoying. I hate immunity in this game. Like when the Scorn Raiders go immune, it just kind of throws off your whole plan. So here, I could use a Celestial, but now he's like so low health because we were able to put in so much good DPS. So here's, like I was saying, you can just shoot them down with your primary to save cranium damage. But yeah, now I get a Celestial just as he's about to TP anyways. So just kind of unfortunate timing on the Celestials and whatever else. Because if I had taken out that Hobgoblin quicker, then I just take everything out. Yeah, it could have been a lot smoother. But overall, it wasn't bad. I only have 8 shots in this cranium, so I'm like, whatever, I'll just burn down some enemies. Now I'm gonna get my resto going. So yeah, this just, it doesn't make you invincible, but it allows you to play way, way more aggressively if you have resto and Empyrean going. So that is why I highly recommend healing grenades with this build. Like other grenades, a fusion grenade or something would be nice on the boss just to apply the weaken more and just for getting his health down quicker. But again, this is not a speed run. This is just showing really good strategies to use if you're just trying to get it clear. And even like if you were trying to speed run, again, you would probably throw on like a real grenade. But even not necessarily, because like I said, it does allow you to play so much more aggressively in other areas of the strike that, yeah, even if you were speedrunning, you're probably going to get more use out of using the Restoration Grenade and Empyrean than you would that extra damage. And that's another thing. Another thing that would help with ad clear is actually running, not knock them down, but Gunpowder Gamble. But I don't like running that because sometimes you have that Gamble Grenade ready to go and you need a Restoration Grenade in a pinch and you go to throw it and it's the Gunpowder Gamble and you die. But that's just me because I don't run Gunpowder Gamble very much. If you're used to it, you could absolutely run it here instead of knock them down, but I prefer not to. And you definitely want On Your Mark because I think that's the one that helps buff your Solar Super with Radiant. So So anyway, now I think everything's dead. So now we're gonna pick up, I'm picking up the cranium closest to the boss. So there, I got hit by a shadow rift thing again. So I picked up the cranium closest to the boss so that I can stay at the back and pick up those other craniums later easier. Because the boss like won't be able to reach me when I'm sitting at the back. So here we're just taking the rifts out, and then we're gonna get one last ad wave, and I believe, yeah, it's like Unstoppables and Centurions and Phalanxes and crap again. So there, I probably should have, I don't know, I could have left that cranium and taken out like all those scions with my machine gun first and get that rolling. So I basically waste this cranium just on the scions because I kind of forgot there was a bunch of scions. I was thinking it was just the... I'm trying to remember if I've ever soloed this one. I don't think I had. I think I just soloed it earlier this season on Master. So I wasn't like totally familiar with the boss room. And then there, I want to take out that unstop, and I hit his stupid shield. So this adds a shit ton of time to this final phase, because that unstop should be dead, and I should have 33% super energy. So now I'm gonna have to burn him down with a cranium, so I lose out on boss DPS. And yeah, so that was just hella unlucky, super freaking annoying. But again, that's what happens sometimes. So yeah, just make sure you don't hit the shield of those guys. And then here I'm seeing if my hip fires will work on Tikus. And then they're getting a little close, so I just use that to burn them down. And now I think we get the unstop. So yeah, basically I lost 2 craniums of boss DPS because one I lost, and then I didn't even hit all crits there, so I didn't get him dead in one stun. But yeah, I lost out on 33% super energy from not killing the unstop, and then I lost out on a cranium because I have to basically burn it to take down the unstop. Because again, you have to get these champions in this boss room down quickly. And then there, again, I'm hitting the freaking shield, even though it like barely looked like it. So, just very frustrating. Now, I think I only have 1 cranium for doing boss damage. And then he's always shooting those little things at you. So again, that's where the cranium's so nice, because you can get in like fast DPS. Then you're not having to shoot those balls as much. Like this one, really, like the quicker you can get down the threats, the better. And I know that's kind of like an obvious thing to say, but in certain GMs, it doesn't matter so much. But in this one, like, it is very important to get your DPS in like quick windows, because you only have quick windows. You have that stupid shield in the way, and you have, yeah, so there. So now I procced Revitalizing Blast, but what's unfortunate is now I don't have a melee for quite a while for my golden gun. So what I should have still done here is pop my Goldie. Oh, and my cranium fell. I'm like, what the hell? Where is it? So I should have just popped my Goldie there and get rid of it, but I want to get the most out of it, which means I want Revitalizing Blast on him. But what I'm not thinking about is that the cranium gives me like crazy super energy. So yeah, I just say screw it. So yeah, unfortunate. Ideally, I would have shot him and done 15% more damage. And now we're getting low on the cranium, and again, I'm kind of wasting it on shooting these taken orbs. There, I finally switch off, reload my machine gun, and then it's just rinse, repeat at the end. But unfortunately, like, I would have burnt him down so much quicker if I had even that one other cranium. So I wasted the one on all the scions, and I wasted the other on the unstop because I didn't get that kill. And I lost out on 33% super energy. So this boss would pretty much be dead already if I didn't miss that super. So now, it's just a matter of putting in damage slowly over time. I know there's no more enemies coming, so I'm like, well, I might as well burn my machine gun ammo. I use that resto nade so that I can sit in even longer while I have Radiant up. And you can see I'm actually chunking him pretty good. not hitting full damage because I'm so far away, but it's good to keep your distance on this boss. And yeah, I pretty much got the most out of my Radiant, but now I don't have Radiant, so I'm going to just use my bow and whittle him down. And oh no, actually I just use a machine gun and just shoot on the top of him. And then every time that protective shield thing, there I dodged backwards. That could have killed me. I don't think I meant to dodge backwards, but it did. And yeah, I almost ran into that blight that was coming, which would have been super unfortunate because this part is not hard by any means. It's just a matter of getting some damage in on the boss. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just slowly chunk the boss down. And again, that 33% super energy would come in very handy right about now, because I would be able to pop my Goldie. Because I don't kill him with a Goldie, I actually kill him just before I get my super here. So, not the cleanest boss room, but it was good teaching moments, because I talked about what I could have done better. So hopefully that helps you do it better than I did if you are going for a solo flawless of this Grandmaster. So if you're still watching, thanks for watching to the end. Yeah, leave a like and sub if you like the content. I will make some more commentary guides, and I already have some up on my channel on the other GMs. So if you like that, there's more where that came from. And yeah, overall, this isn't a super hard GM to solo, so it's a good one to dip your feet into, but there can be some really annoying stuff on the boss. And you can see even right here, I'm just getting a little impatient. I just want him to die, and I thought he was about to die, and he didn't. And now he's dead. And I'm just getting my super now. So that's the way it goes sometimes. Anyways, thanks for watching, and take care.